Atkins Civil 3D video series, BAS 3.2, labels continued. This video illustrates modification and creation of a label style. A vertical curve with labels is currently shown, which was created using the VC Station Elevation-CL label style created by Atkins. Settings, Profile, Label Styles, Curve, VC Station Elevation-Centerline label style. Right-click, Edit. These are the various components that are contained in the label style. This label style contains a majority of the component types used in Civil 3D construction drawings. At times, it is desired to make modifications to an existing label style or to create new label style. When creating a new label style, it is always recommended that an existing style be copied and modified as needed for the new style. For this video, the standard label style that is currently shown will be copied and modified to look like the VC Station Elevation-CL label style. Close the current style, right-click Standard, Copy, Information, change the name to VC Data. General tab, Label, Textile, Arial. I prefer Arial, which is a true type font in which the thickness of the text is proportional to the height. Label visibility true, Layer. Change the layer to C-Road text. OK. Behavior, Orientation reference. Select View. Plan readability, plan readable, true. Readability bias, this is the angle in which the orientation of the text will change. 110 degrees. Flip anchors with text. This will move the label above or below the object. False. OK. A new label style for the curve has been created. Right-click the VC data. Edit. Layout tab. There are currently 4 components contained in the label style: dimension line, start line, end line, and length. In lieu of modifying the current components, these will be deleted and new components will be added. My personal preference is to have the station and elevation shown above the profile and the other vertical curve data shown below. 4 vertical lines will be created: an up and down line at the start of the vertical curve and an up and down line at the end. These vertical lines will be used as references for the other components. Add the start line up. Depress arrow to the right of the Create Text component icon. Select line. Name, change the current name to start line up. Visibility true. Start point anchor component. Start line references the feature. Start point anchor point. Select anchor curve start. Use end anchor point. False. You want to create a line with a fixed length. Line, fixed length, 1.0 inches. This line will extend a plotted length of 1 inch above the BVC point on the profile. Angle, change to 90. For a line that is vertically up, the angle is relative to the view orientation. Start point offset 0. This is a horizontal offset distance from the BVC point on the profile. Start point Y offset. This is a vertical distance 0. The color, line type, and line weight are all by layer. Repeat the procedures for the start line down, end line up, and end line down. For this video, the up and down lines for the start and end points of the profile have been created. The start and end names have been changed to BVC and EVC respectively. A problem was found with the previous VC data label style that was created. Many profile properties were not available in the text component editor for the normal profile reference text. This is a problem with AutoCAD Civil 3D, which should be corrected in future releases. To overcome this, another copy was made of the standard label style in which the length label was not deleted. The BVC Station text component will be created using a copy of the length text component. Select length for the current component name. Select the copy component icon. In General section, Name, change the name to BVC Station. Visibility true, anchor component, select the current. The BVC station is going to reference the BVC line up. Anchor point is going to be the end. The end point of the line is to be used as a reference point for the insertion of the station text. Text, contents, select the current, select the three dots selection icon. The text component editor dialog box is displayed. During some editing procedures, simple modifications such as precision are made in the preview window. The current precision is 3, which can easily be changed to 2. After this change is made, press OK and the change will be applied. The Format tab contains the text style, justification, and font. These are normally left as is. Properties, select Profile Curve Start Station. Check the modifiers, the units, format, precision, rounding, etc. These will remain as current. We want a precision of 2 places for the station. Prior to inserting, add BVC at the start of the label, space. Depress the arrow to the right of the properties to insert the value. In properties window, delete the previous text. OK. Text height. This is the plotted height of the label. 0.08 inches is a drawing label style default. Rotation angle. This is the angle that the text is to be rotated in relation to the alignment from start to end of the anchor component. 0.0 degrees. Attachment. This is the location on the text object itself where it is to be attached to the anchor point. The station label is to be placed slightly above and at the end of the vertical line. Use bottom right for the attachment. X offset. This is a horizontal offset distance from the anchor point relative to the orientation direction from start to end of the anchor component. 0.0 inches. Y offset. This is a vertical offset distance from the anchor point. 0.01 inches. The color and line type are by layer, which is a drawing label style default. Maximum width 0, which is also the drawing label style default. Border section. Visibility is false for the profile text label. In some labels it may be desired to have a border. There are several types available in the drop list. Background mask. At times it may be desired to select true for the background mask in order to hide the display of other lines and hatch so that the label text is clearly shown. For the profile text label, the background mask is left as false. The elevation component has been created using similar procedures as for the station component. The parameters are similar except for the following. Contents uses the profile curve start elevation. Attachment is at the top right of the label. The elevation label is approximately centered below the station label. X offset is a minus 0.10 inches and the Y offset is minus 0.01 inch. The EVC station and elevation components have been created. The parameters are the same as for the BVC, except the end line up was used for the anchor component. The sag and crest, line, station, and elevation components have also been created. The parameters for the sag and crest were similar to those used for the start and end. The anchor component for the sag and crest lines referenced the anchor curve low point and the anchor curve high point. The station and elevation components reference the sag and crest line. The dimension line component has been created. The line is to be used as a reference for the vertical curve data components. The parameters for the line are General section, name, dimension line, visibility true. Start point, anchor component is the BVC line down. Start point, anchor point is the end point of the down line. Use endpoint anchor, true. Endpoint anchor component is EVC line down. Endpoint anchor point, the end point of the line. In the line section, link type, percent length. Percent length is 100%. The start point X offset is minus 0.05. The X offset is reference to the end point of the line, and the direction, the orientation of the line is from start to end, so the direction of the offset is minus. Start point Y offset 0, end point X offset minus 0.05 inches, end point Y offset is 0. The arrowheads for the start and end of the dimension line have been created. Block was used in the creation of the arrowhead. For the arrowhead left, the anchor component is the dimension line. The anchor point is the start point of the dimension line. Block name is arrowhead, which is obtained from a block that is contained in the drawing. Arrowhead, okay? The block height is 0.10 inches, which is the length of the arrowhead. Rotation angle is 0 degrees. Attachment is the insertion point of the arrowhead. X and Y offsets are 0. For the arrowhead right component, the anchor point is the end point of the dimension line, and the rotation angle is 180 degrees. The PVI station elevation component has been created and is shown centered above the dimension line. The parameters for the PVI station elevation are very similar to those for the BVC and EVC station and elevation. General section, anchor component is the dimension line. Anchor point is the middle of the dimension line. Contents is PVI, and it uses the PVI station and the PVI elevation. Cancel. Text height is 0.08 inches. Rotation is 0.0. The attachment is at the bottom center of the station elevation text. X offset is 0. Y offset is 0.01, which is slightly above the dimension line. A copy of the PVI station elevation component was used to create the vertical curve length and K-value component, which is shown centered below the dimension line. No changes were made in the general section. In the text section, L equals, and then the profile curve length data was inserted, and K equals, and the K-value data was inserted. Cancel. The text rotation are the same. Attachment is the top center of the text. X offset is 0 and the Y offset is a minus 0.01 inch. At times, it may be desirable to move a label to clear an obstruction with another object in the drawing by picking the label and selecting the square glyph. The appearance of the label after it is moved and any leaders associated therewith is controlled by the parameters contained in the Drag State tab. The parameters currently shown are those desired for the profile labels. In the leader section, arrowhead style. Many styles are available from a drop list. Arrowheads are located on the leader at the anchor point. Arrowhead size. Set the size of the arrowhead as desired. The current size is 0.0, which indicates that an arrowhead will not be displayed on the leader. Visibility. Set true or false for the visibility of the leader. Type, straight or spline leader. With spline, the leader is curved. Straight is normally used. The color, line type, and line weight are by layer, which is a drawing label style default. Drag state components. Display is currently as composed, which is used for the profile labels. The appearance of the label will remain the same after it is dragged. The other style available is stacked text. The label is rotated to a horizontal position and the text is stacked vertically. Border visibility can be false or true. With true, a border around the text is displayed. With false, the moved text is displayed without a border. Border type, there are several border types available. Background mask. where the drag text may be set as true or false. Border and leader gap. This is a gap between the text and the border. Text height. The height of the drag text may be changed from that as originally composed. Leader attachment. The leader can be attached at any location along the text. Leader justification. With true, the side of the label on which the leader is attached will move as a label is moved. Moving a label to the right, the leader will be attached on the left side, and conversely, moving the label to the left, the leader will be attached to the right side. The color, line type, line weight, and maximum text width. Use the drawing labels defaults. Change the current profile label style. Pick the label. In Properties Palette, the current label style, VC data. The arrowhead that is displayed is too big. Modify the VC data. Edit. Arrowhead left. Change to 0.05. Enter. Arrowhead right. Change to 0.05. Enter. Apply. OK. This video is a part of the Civil 3D video series created by Gerald Atkins of Atkins Engineering. Visit www.atkengr.com for instruction manuals, tutorial drawings, template drawings, and Civil 3D videos.